Jimmy Butler of the early and mid-season sample only rarely resembled the leader who single-handedly led the Heat to the finals twice. As was his habit, he quarreled with everyone around him, was suspended from the match and seemed close to the inglorious end of his career. Golden State was habitually fighting for a play-in spot and couldn't make a high-profile trade. When Jimmy moved to the Warriors, many doubted, but the team has become dangerous again, primarily because of him. The playoffs are coming up and Butler can surprise like no one else. Right now, the Warriors have the hottest team in the league. How did that happen? You will know in this video, and before we start, please subscribe to our Hook Talks channel. It's Ibra on the microphone and let's go. What I personally like about Golden State is that they really try to do something even when it doesn't work out. Here they part ways with Jordan Poole and then decline the services of franchise legend Klay Thompson. But in turn, they work the market and sign a number of rookies, Buddy Hield, Milton, Anderson, and then also Dennis Schroeder. And even though they haven't had particularly good luck with most of them, the Warriors management continues to struggle. In order not to derail the last dance of Steph Curry's great career, the Warriors have claimed either Lauri Markkanen or Paul George. Nothing is working out with both of them again, though it seems even better now. Both have been major disappointments this season, and a lot of sad things have already happened to Golden State. And just when the regular season was supposed to end with them fighting for a play-in, they take Butler, a risky move initially, but one that has paid off so far. Jimmy doesn't have great stats at Warriors, actually he doesn't need to. Over his long career playing on a variety of teams, Butler has rarely scored very many points or handed out assists at the level of the league's best playmakers. He averaged about 17 points per game, exactly the same number he had this season with the Heat before his suspension and trade. But this impact on the game is not measured in simple numbers. Now the Warriors have gotten depth right in the starting lineup. It's no secret that the team's main problem has been an ability to keep a quality level of play when Curry sits on the bench. This trend is becoming more and more evident given that Steph isn't getting any younger and the coaching staff is deliberately giving him more time to rest. This story has been going on with Golden State since Kevin Durant left for Brooklyn. By the way, has anyone heard how his super team is doing with Harden and Kyrie Irving? Andrew Wiggins was also good, but as shown, those were one-time blips. Both have already been traded and are far from their former level. Unlike Steph, who needs a star assistant, not because Curry isn't pulling his weight anymore. He's still great and can score on any opponent. It's just that the modern NBA is set up in such a way that it's hard to win with one star. The Warriors' main rivals in the West have at least two of them, LeBron and Luka, Jokic and Murray, Giannis and Alexander. The level is different, but the essence is the same. Jimmy will be 36 years old by the start of the next regular season, but his trade is not an investment for years to come, but a contribution to winning in the here and now. Steph is also at a solid age for basketball, as is Draymond, and Golden State's entire roster still has good flexibility despite Butler's big contract. The three leaders' contracts run through the 2026-27 season, and Butler and Green have player options. That is that money won't hang that weight on the franchise payroll. At first, watching Jimmy and the Warriors was a pleasure. He instantly found common ground with the other leaders. Despite Butler's difficult character and Draymond's explosive temper, that's a win already. Butler cares about results, and Steve Kerr is known as a coach who gives his players freedom. So Jimmy is already taking the lead and drawing schemes for shenanigans. These aren't just funny moments from timeouts, it speaks volumes about Butler's own interest, the way his partners have embraced him, and the Warriors' prospects. Draymond usually takes on the role of the think tank. He has an unconventional vision of the game, but now Butler has come to his aid. He has a lot to show and a lot to bring to his new team. As it happens, Warriors basketball has been centered around long shots for years. With the best sharpshooter of all time at their disposal, it would be strange if it worked out differently. Golden State's game isn't just about empty shots from distance, but something smarter. With Butler, the Warriors have added variety. Jimmy is known for his ability to score points in a variety of ways, including mid-range and long-range shots. He bursts underneath the basket and pulls defense down on him. Even if opponents stay on Curry, other players will have more chances for free throws. In addition, Butler has a knack for punishing the gas and going into the paint. He doesn't avoid contact and scores a lot from close range. He gets both Draymond and Steph involved in the offense. Green isn't a sniper, but he sees the field well. Curry is a threat in his own right and distracts defenses. That's why Butler's breakouts under the basket are a new and effective form of offense of the Warriors. A team too tied to Curry's genius was often unable to execute simple offensive plays instead of complicated three-pointers. Butler offers the simplest possible way to score points. When needed, he simply takes the ball and goes for a pass, where he either scores or earns a foul. From the free throw line, Butler is averaging 7 per game, making about 90% of his shots. That's 6 guaranteed points per game, a serious boost to Golden State's offense. Hence their increasing efficiency. They have the best offensive rating in the league since Jimmy was traded. Butler may be far from the form of his days with Chicago, Minnesota, or the iconic playoffs with Miami, but he remains an elite defender. Previously, the Warriors relied too much on physicality and reading the game in Draymond's defense. Now Green's skills remain, but Butler's defense has added to them. He not only shuts down the opponent's top sharpshooters, but also helps out in third episodes. Even if Jimmy doesn't have a championship ring, but the Warriors got a winner. Butler always plays to win and has no patience for those who don't. He's like Green in that. Without him, Philadelphia rarely had success in the playoffs, but with him, they were one step away from the finals. By the way, after Butler left, the Sixers never got back there with Embiid. Judging by their current play, it's unlikely they'll be back anytime soon. Before Butler, the Timberwolves hadn't made the playoffs since Kevin Garnett. They got there with him, and young Tones and Wiggins got a masterclass in how to play. Curiously, Wiggins was later traded to the Warriors for just Butler, and the way Jimmy carried Miami is a separate story. It was simply impossible not to root for the Heat in 2020 and 2023. The team, inferior in talent, gave 100% and reached the finals twice. The main character along with Spoelstra was Butler. Now Golden State has an interesting lineup taking shape. On one hand, Steph is still hungry for a 5th title and Green runs the defense. On the other hand, the Warriors kept their youngsters. Moses Moody's contract runs through the 2027-28 season and he was cheap. That's a ballsy hit. Brandon Podziemski is in his 2nd year in the league, developing and has become more confident with the Butler's arrival. The Warriors will have to splurge on Jonathan Kuminga, whose contract expires at the end of the season. So far, the parties can't agree on an amount, which is odd given the risk of him leaving, but this is where Butler's presence comes into the play again. He has become a mentor for the youngsters and can help them progress. Plus, the Warriors have sharpshooters and big players. The main thing about this swap is the Warriors' results. With Butler, they almost never lose and can finally make the playoffs directly. The Heat lost 80% of their games without Jimmy, while the Suns, who wanted him, lost 70%. It may be too early to bury the Golden State dynasty. The playoffs are ahead and the Warriors from gives hope. And you already know how Butler knows how to turn into in the playoffs. And that concludes this issue. More basketball content on my channel, Hook Talks. It was Ibra on the microphone. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.